Jay Martinez with Fight Hill TV, sponsored by stagefront.vip, here with Conor Benn, enjoying the sun here in Guadalajara, Mexico, right?
Oh, it's beautiful, man. We don't get this sunshine back home.
In the UK, yeah. You know, I'm very thrilled to see you. You look good. You look good, man. The opportunity to come around here, I know I've seen that you've been sparring in the United States. I've also heard that you've been, sparring as well here in Mexico. You know, how's it been, taking the opportunity to get away from basically your comfort zone and being now, in Mexico and in the United States?
Comfort zone, I mean, I'm comfortable anywhere. I feel like me being out here is taking my mind off a lot of things back home, all the noise. I'm able to just, find myself again and fight and remember why I do this. And, the sparring over here is great. And, sparring out in the sunshine, running in the heat, it's
It's a different type of heat.
But you guys take it for granted, whereas back home, it's running in the cold. So, I'm lapping it up and enjoying it.
To be honest with you, I hate the heat, so I just completely hate the heat. I
love the heat. I
hate the heat.
But listen, when you've got to get up at 3-4 in the morning and it's freezing cold, you'll soon love the heat.
Yeah. How is the comparison? There's different types. The European fighters, comparing them to, let's just say the American fighters, and we also can say the Mexican fighters. How could you say what is the comparison? Going into the sparring.
It's just very different. I think mentally, mindset, you guys are very different to the way we are, or the style's different. But I find that the work over here is always good work. The pace is slowed down quite a lot more over here, I think. But it's just different styles. You got the American style, you got fighters that cover up like that, and then you have fighters that the Mexicans who I've done 12 rounds on Monday who come for it. I had a cruiserweight in there for 4 rounds, and I had a light welterweight in there for the remainder. So it's they come swinging. They throw their shots around the body. They're always doubling up on the left hooks. It's it's great, man. It's just a good experience.
We just saw recently, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, the big fight, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
We saw what took place. Obviously Ryan Garcia got that hook to the body. What was your overall analysis of the performance of Gervonta Davis? I know I'll jump into it a little bit later. A fight potential with Gervonta Davis was something you would welcome as well, I'm sure, with Ryan Garcia. How would you give overall the performance of Gervonta Davis first?
I didn't watch it. I never watched the fight. I saw the knockout. Gervonta's a great fighter anyway. I've seen a few of Gervonta's fights. You can see what he's made of. He's a tough fighter, and he can punch like a horse. So I knew what that fight looked like anyway.
So going into the fight, you actually had, Gervonta Davis beating Ryan Garcia.
I did. I put a social media post out saying that Ryan would do him within 3 rounds or whatever it was. That's because I was hoping Garcia would win, but unfortunately he didn't. I thought it was always going to come. I think Gervonta's got that.
The big topic about everything, going into, after the fight is, quote unquote, did Ryan Garcia quit? Personally, I don't think so, just because those body shots, I previously did amateurs, not compared to the professional level, but I've taken a body shot where I'm like, ooh, I'm trying to continue. I'm like, oh, I felt like, wow, I had to take a knee real quick. So what is your perspective of that? The people or the fans or the critics are saying that Ryan Garcia quit.
It's hard, man, because it's like you're asking someone who's been brought up in seeing his dad going to wars, watching the back of my dad's fights, went to war, always got put down, got back up. So if it was me, I'd get back up. I'd get out all day long. I'd get back up. You have to knock me out cold.
You go out for your shield.
You go out on my shield. Like, I'm not scared of getting knocked out. It's part of the game. Some days you win, some days you lose. But I could never let. I feel like you got to get out from a body shot, man. Like, it's not like you were crippled on the floor. You weren't like, you weren't dying. You didn't feel like, you didn't feel like you were dying, And I feel what it is why people got the ump is because he managed to just get back up after 11 and have a little walk around.
From the All Access, Ryan Garcia, Joe, his trainer, Joe Goosen, said, was it the rib shot? And Ryan said, yeah, it was my ribs. So, there's rumors swirling around that he had like a fractured rib. Possibly that's what didn't let Ryan Garcia kind of get up, could you still kind of give him the benefit of the doubt of that situation when, you know, he could in the knockout with Gervonta?
I don't think you guys know how bad a fractured rib is. Now, if you had a fractured rib, I don't know how you can get dressed up in an all-sequence black suit straight after the press conference and go around giving people cuddles. Do you know what I mean? But it's, I'm not one to throw stones. Do you know what I mean? But for example, I tore this tendon. I don't know if you can see. I tore my tendon on one of my fight weeks, and I had the surgery after. No one knew. I had the surgery after the fight. I managed to put the guy down twice with a hand. But we're fighters. It's what we do. Do you know what I mean? You don't. I don't know. Listen, maybe he has got a fractured rib. I know people who have had fractured ribs, and you know they're struggling to breathe. They're struggling to breathe in air.
Conor, what you just said, we're fighters. That's what we do. It's exactly what Canelo just told us yesterday. That's exactly that's what Canelo said. He said we talked to him. He said, what do you think about the, you know, obviously what happened with Ryan? He said, we're fighters. That's what we do. We should get up. But again, you know, it's a double-edged sword per se. You know, the situation that happened with Ryan. Moving on from here, where does Gervonta Davis go? Where does Ryan Garcia? Any just potential fights that you like to?
I'd like to see Ryan Garcia versus Pitbull Cruz, Rolly Romero. He's crazy, isn't he? That Romero geezer. He's nuts. He's so crazy.
He actually said at the end of the fight, Conor, he said, I actually gave a tougher fight. It was a better fight with me and Gervonta, even though he got knocked down. But Rolly said that when we spoke with him.
Okay, he got knocked out, for example. He got knocked out cold. He couldn't get back up. Done, finished. He got knocked out. He was trying, pushing. Got knocked out. It is what it is. Two different
comparisons.
Comparisons. Yeah, but I'd like to see Gervonta Davis maybe in with. Is he 140 now?
135. He fluctuates to 140.
I like to see him in. I know it's like, I'm not sure realistic. Lopez, Haney, Loma, those names. I like seeing him with those names. Ryan Garcia was in my opinion, the easiest fight out of the lot based on resumes.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion, based on resumes, Ryan Garcia was the easier fight based on resumes against, say, Lopez or a Haney or a Lomachenko, etc.
Is it? Why would you say he's the easiest? Because his fundamentals?
He looks, fundamentals, like you watch him shadow boxing or, you know, hitting the pads and bag. You know, and then you look at the team, and I just feel like some are more. I just feel like, you know, the better opponents have been fought by Haney, Loma, and Lopez. Ryan Garcia is a lot younger though, still. So, well, no, they're all the same age, aren't they?
At this stage, Conor, professional fighters or yourself, you think any more improvements can be made for Ryan? As you know, you think you can.
Depends on how much you're willing to learn. Depends on how humble you are. You know, because humbleness is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom, beginning of knowledge. So it's like, I'm always looking for that 1%. Always. I go to my trainer, even if I've knocked Samuel Vargas when I knocked him out in one round. I've gone back to my trainer and gone, what did I do? What could I have done better? What could I have done better? And that's my mindset, the mindset of growth. I'm always thinking about how I can be better. I understand I don't know it all. I understand that I need to listen to get better. I understand I need to listen. So it depends, because some people aren't humble, who aren't willing to listen, don't improve.
We see that Ryan Garcia obviously was Golden Boy Promotions. They're connected with, they obviously partnered with the Zone for the, you know, for the fights. Can we potentially see that fight down the line with you, and you welcome a fight with Ryan Garcia? Ryan?
Do you know what? It's funny because these names get mentioned to me, and it's like he's a lot smaller than me. Like he just fought a 1-3. But then again, I was willing to jump up to 160. So it's like, yeah, the fights can be made, but after that defeat, would you want to fight someone like me?
Potentially down the line, maybe, obviously, a little bit later.
I don't feel like Ryan Garcia would have any interest in fighting someone like me after the loss to Gervonta. You know, I'm sort of, these big names are mentioned to me because I'm probably one of the biggest names in Britain currently. So it's like people raise these names to me. The Manny Pacquiao, they're chasing the fight with me, but then it's interpreted that I'm chasing them out. I welcome the challenge. That's all. You know, Gervonta Davis, right? I welcome the challenge. I'm a fighter. We're fighters. We understand how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, and that's all it is. But if you go to me, would you fight Ryan Garcia just now? Would I welcome him? Or would I welcome him?
Mm-hmm.
But then you'd put out, Conor Benn says he'd welcome the fight of Ryan Garcia. It's not that I'm calling that. It's just, you know, these are the big names. People want to see the big names fight the big names.